and among them there were many school children of 12 or 13 age groups. Why? At that time I wondered, why? What are these kids doing? These days I learned that they were the students of seventh grade equivalent boys and girls. And they had been mobilized to work in the central area that day. Over 7,000 boys and girls. What were they doing? They were told to make a fire preventing zone, demolishing houses and put aside the roof tiles and debris and clean and make a fire preventing zone to prepare for the big fire by the air raid. You understand? That's why they started working in the central area. Naturally, outside, on the streets. And they had started working at 8 o'clock in the morning, unfortunately. And all of them were burned and wounded. I think over 90% of them were dead, I think. And that's why I witnessed so many boys and girls. Whenever I remember of these boys and girls, I still can't stop tears. Why were they to be killed like that way? They should have bright future if they were born in peacetime, you know? Terrible. So, anyway, we could get to the hospital. Front yard of the hospital was full of those people. And only one or two doctors and nurses were doing something with little medicine. But you see, no help, so many people. So I told my friend, let's go back to school. So I took him back to school. But this guy was very fortunate to be picked up by a rescue truck later. And he was sent to an island, and he could survive. Yeah, that was a situation about 1 or 2 hours after the bombing, anyways, for me. And at that time, my breathing had already stopped. How lucky I was, see. So, I stayed at school for a while, but I wanted to leave the city as soon as possible. I wanted to go back to my mother's home, like a baby, you see. Yeah. These days, I reflect myself, and I'm ashamed of myself. I was so selfish. I should have worked for rescue work or things like that. What a bad boy I was. I was only 16-year-old, thoughtless young boy. And I wanted to leave the city as soon as possible. Yeah. So I left school and crossed this bridge and started walking back to the dorm. When I crossed this bridge, I gazed both sides of the river burning fiercely. The whole city had been covered with big, gigantic cloud of smoke rising high. Whole city was burning. Well, at that time I was a little sentimental. Oh, our old city, Hiroshima, is dying. And I was a little sad. And I thought, hey, Americans invented such a big bomb. It will be very, very difficult to win this war. Yeah. I thought, but I never believed in surrender either. Oh, what a brave boy. We had been educated like that those days. So I walked back to the dorm. Yeah, around here, I had to witness a baby body, naked body of a baby boy. He was dead, both hands and feet up on the debris, and he was so muddy and dirty, see, and he had been thrown there. Even today, I think, why didn't adult people cover him with blanket or some seat or something? Why was he left in naked? Very sad. But at the same time, I feel I'm ashamed of myself. Then, did I do anything for him? Well, I should have done something for him. Real shame, I think. Very sad. In such a time, maybe my nerve might have been mad, out of order. Oh yeah, and I got to the dome, but dome had been smashed. Hiroshima station was burning, and wherever I went, I had to see those people. What happened in Hiroshima? Trains had already stopped, and I had to walk 2 more stations. And here I got around 5 o'clock in the evening and got on the rescue train, 1, 2, 3 more stations, got off the train and started walking to my mother's home, and got home around midnight. Yeah. My mother had given up about me. She said that she witnessed mushroom crowds among the mountains that morning. And rumors went out. Hiroshima was bombed by a big bomb, and many people were dead. Naturally, she believed, oh, my son is dead. So you can imagine how she was pleased to see me. See, oh, you are alive. Something like that. So again, I tell you, I was so happy because I had a place to go back. But those people born here didn't have any place to go. So they went to the elementary school classrooms in the suburbs, or temples, or shrines, or town halls. Those places were full of those patients that night. Burned people or wounded people, moaning, asking for water in the dark. And before the next morning came, many of them were dead. Yeah. One of my friends told me, Kay, I had to go to the forest in the mountain, and I witnessed Hiroshima burning that night. I was so sad, he said. So again, I was very happy having a place to go back.